Let me get this phone set up here. Check it out. Welcome back, anybody that's checking it out. Okay, I haven't done this in a while. So let me just take a few seconds to get kind of set up here and we'll talk about what we're doing today and why we're doing it. Okay. Okie dokie, welcome back. Silent Wake 5 back with another demonstration today. And we are checking out the YANDOO screen. That's right, the YANDOO screen, the very same YANDOO screen I sent to Brother Derek about this time last year, somewhere around this time last year. Or we're getting close to around that time, so it's been almost a year. Now I had reached out to Brother Derek and asked for his link so that I can buy another YANDOO screen. He sent me the link. But I got to thinking, I could have sworn that I had one that I had bought downstairs, and I looked down there, and of course, there it is in my big tub container. So this is one that's been sitting downstairs in a room in the plastic for, gosh, probably 6 months or more. And I've thought that it might be fun because I'm waiting around today to get my PC in. I thought, you know, let's go ahead and do a demonstration with the YANDOO screen, the black side. There's no reflective material behind the screen. It's the only thing that's behind it is the other side of the YANDOO screen. All I did was fold it in half and snap it on the very familiar panel that I've done so many different demonstrations on. We got Lincoln Heights in the house. Hey, Silent, it's been a minute. Glad to hear from you again. Lincoln, how are you, sir? I'm doing fine. Just to clarify, this is not a comeback or anything like that, but I'm just having fun with the YANDOO screen and showing Kenneth Bird another example of a black screen that you can use for a DIY project if you want to. I'm not going to tell people what to do, but if you want to use a black screen, you're better off getting a $30 YANDOO screen. That's what we have here. We're using that old Epson. It's been downstairs. All this stuff has been downstairs for all this time. I haven't even touched it. So this is the first time this has been turned on. This is the Epson COW01. It's a 720p projector. It is around 3,000 lumens, I believe, but it's like a 1280 by 800 res or something like that. So it's a 720p projector, essentially. And we're using an Xbox One S for our streaming here. We got YouTube up. And let me go ahead and pull up the menu here. We're in vivid mode. I'll go ahead and do an image reset. You're going to hear the fan kick on. And that's going to put the lamp output in high. So now we're getting every bit of that, whatever lumens it has, 3,000 to 3,200, I don't know, something like that. But for the streaming sake and the noise sake, we'll drop it down in eco mode. That's going to cut that power consumption down. The fan's going to lower. So essentially our lumens are going to be less than 3,000 lumens. It's probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of around 27 to 2,800 lumens right now on a 720p Epson projector. I think this projector, you could buy it refurbished on eBay from Epson themselves for around $300-ish or whatever. It's kind of a business model. It's got a fixed lens. It's a standard throw. So it's not quite short throw. It's not an ultra throw or a long throw. It doesn't have zoom or shift or anything. It's a very rudimentary, portable, pack it up and go, throw it up on a wall and get your presentation done type of projector, or set up that movie night or whatever outside, whatever. It's not as good as I would like, but it's a functional projector for a demonstration like this. And again, people have covered this before. They've taken a look on the other side. I like the silver side, especially in a home theater, more traditional home theater environment. I like the fact that it only costs $30. I like the fact that that you can attach it to an existing frame. If you're just swapping out a material or something got damaged, you can literally staple it up on the wall or tape it to the wall or whatever it is you want to do for a quick setup if that's your thing. And you can get started with it fairly easy. Now, another thing I like about this screen in particular, depending on, I don't care what side you use, but it's also acoustically transparent. So you can put your left, center, and right channel behind the screen. Sound will travel through, and you'll get that benefit of having the sound come directly from the screen. And sound placement for left, center, and right channel will be more discreet on the actual screen in terms of people talking on camera, off camera, whatever. It'll sound a little bit more dynamic without having speakers showing below or above or off to the sides. It's up to you, but it's another feature about the $30 screen. Now, I'm doing this in comparison to Kenneth Bryds Black Series Edition. I don't know whatever freaking name he's got going on right now. I can care less. It's all the same stuff. It's always been the same stuff. There's been absolutely no difference whatsoever in his products. Very, very little difference. Maybe just tone changes. Sometimes it's a little bit more blue. Sometimes it's a little bit more ashy grayish, dark grayish. Sometimes it's a really sparkly, metallic-y gunmetal. But the mixing practices of Kenneth Bryds from Black Series Edition, the old Crystal Edge technology screens, the Quasar, the Cosmics, the whatever names he's throwing out there, you're far better off at the end of the day. To quote Kenneth Bryds, at the end of the day, you are far better off using a $30 spandex material screen like this YANDOO with a high lumen projector and getting these types of images from it. And I'm not in a dark room here. I mean, I have natural light coming in from the windows and, of course, way back there and by the door. So I'm not in a dark room. This is natural daylight. Natural daylight, not hiding anything. Gave you all the specs. This is the image quality that I'm getting. I did a picture mode reset. The only thing that I changed from the picture mode was taking it from the high setting and I put it in the low power setting, the eco setting, which really puts the screen at a disadvantage because you're not getting quite as many lumens. Obviously, with more lumens, the picture is going to be brighter. You're projecting onto a dark surface, right? Anytime you project onto a darker surface than a standard Unity white standard screen, you are going to be dimming the image one way or another. Okay, that's just how it is. Excuse the bad internet connection here. Let me see if I can fix that. There you go. Okay, so all I'm doing is looking at natural environments here. Let me go back. Let me figure out. These are some of the things. Here's a white level test on the YANDOO, so you can kind of see white levels. I know that's important to a lot of people. It's the YANDOO screen, $30. $30 screen, in my opinion, getting a much better result than what you'll get from Kenneth Bryds black screen paint that cost hundreds of dollars. So why do this to begin with? What is the angle here to come back and show you this screen? What are we trying to accomplish here? I'm just going to say one word, one phrase. Imagine paying less. That's it. Imagine paying less than what Kenneth Bryds charges and still being able to use a black screen, if that's your thing. Imagine paying less and getting probably much better performance at a much cheaper price. Imagine paying less. Imagine, here's a Starfield. This is perfect. Starfield. Black material. There's your stars. There's your Starfield. There you go, Kenneth Bryds. We got the windows open. Perfect, right? Got the windows open. Starfield. There you go. We're at a comparable size here to what Kenneth Bryds shows on his channel. We're very, very comparable. I'd say the actual image size is somewhere around 75 to 80 inches, somewhere around in that neighborhood. Comparable size. There you go. Starfield. There's the woman He likes showing this one, or used to like showing this one. I don't know. Imagine paying less. Imagine not having to deal with somebody who is going to threaten to sue you, sue to tear your house down, sue to take your property, because you didn't like spending $300, $400 on a screen paint that provides less image quality than what you're seeing here from a $30 piece of fabric. Imagine paying less. So if you are interested in going to a black screen, and that's your thing, that's what you like, okay? I don't care. Do your thing. Whatever makes you happy. You're much better off with a $30 black YANDOO side screen that you get on Amazon. And if you don't like the black, you try it out, you don't like the black, flip it around, use the other side. That's what you're seeing around the black there towards the bottom left. You're actually seeing the other side of the screen. So this is just folded in half and clamped to this flat surface so I can do this demonstration for you today. Very, very simple. $30. The projector was around, I think when I bought it, it was around $300 on sale or something like that. The price went up because the sale was over. And I'm using an old Xbox One S, like the crappiest Xbox that you probably can buy at this point, to stream YouTube. And that's it. That's it. Very, very simple. Let's do some greens. Let's do some forest, shrubbery type of scenarios going on here. If Kenneth Bird would like to come into the chat and offer to buy the YANDOO and do a side-by-side comparison, I think that's something that customers should ask him to do. I'm very familiar with Kenneth Bird's tactics. I know that if he sees this or hears about this, he's going to go in on Daniel McAfee. I'm not Daniel McAfee. My name is Michael. It's not Daniel. And he's going to go in on this whole thing, how I did this, and show pictures of my kids and do all this. You know, he's going to do all this doxing that he usually does. It's usually just a tactic of his. Am I scared? No. Have I ever been scared? Maybe at the very start, because I was so green to YouTube and I was jumping in head first, you know. But for many, many years now, going on 3 years probably, something like that, he's been threatening to sue me and tear down my house, bulldoze it right in front of my children, and all this. You know, he's wanted to strangle me to death for a long time. So I'm used to it. I'm fine. Interesting, huh? $30, and this is the image quality you're going to get with a similar 720p lamp-based projector. Maybe laser will be a little bit brighter, a little bit more consistent than lamp. Lamp tends to fade pretty quickly depending on the model, depending on the quality of the lamp. And again, also another big point to point out with projectors, the better lens quality that you have, the better image, the better contrast, the better corner-to-corner sharpness you're going to have. The better the lens of the projector, the better the experience. It's not so much about resolution or, you know, necessarily technology, because 3 LCD technology can look very, very convincing and very, very good. DLP technology can look very, very good. And liquid crystal on silicon can look absolutely amazing. What matters with the projector in particular is making sure that the projector has a very good lens system, preferably all glass, preferably with some sophisticated zoom and focus and shift capabilities. That'll make your setup a lot easier. I don't recommend buying office style projectors for home theater use. I think they're fine for outside or taking camping with the RV or whatever it is that you're doing. Or if you're in a situation where your budget is lower, they're perfectly fine to use. It's just they're not going to be as good as some of the other projectors that have more sophisticated technology. We get hung up on resolution. We get hung up on manufacturers' contrast claims. But what really makes contrast stand out on any projector is the lens. how the lens is handling and redirecting the light and containing excess light. That's really what matters in terms of a projector, in my opinion. That's been my experience, ranging from projectors that I've had that's been from Epson, JVC, Sony. You know, better the lens, the better the lens quality, the better that lens handles the light from the projector, the better your contrast, the better your focus, the easier it's going to be to set up. But just wanted to get that out there. We concentrate too much on other things with the projectors and not really what counts in a projector. And if you do any kind of studying on this technology or whatever, if you go and you research, what current day Christie or Barco's using, their lenses are like freaking outrageously priced, and there's a reason behind that. It's because they are really the heart of that projector and what it can and cannot do, and how that technology that's in the projector is going to look on a screen. That's why those projectors look really, really great on a white screen in the right environment. The contrast is beyond what you can notice and see with the human eye. And the pixel density on those things are absolutely amazing. The pixel spacing is amazing on those quality projectors. That's not what I'm using here today, but this is fully functional. And if I wanted to sit here all day and watch a TV show or play a game, I can do it with the windows open, with the light coming in from the windows. Again, we're not hiding anything. This is all natural daylight coming in. And there you go. Let's go back and we'll change it up again. Here's those white wolves. You really want to get a look at those white levels on the $30 YANDOO screen again. This is very much a throw it up and see what we got kind of demonstration here, but you know, we're seeing comparable image quality to what we see from Kenneth Bird and on Brother Derek's channel. So there's no tomfoolery or anything like that. This is throw it up and go. We've gone over the picture settings. We've even taken it down into a lower lumen output. You'll notice a little area right in this area here. It'll look a little bit brighter, and that's really not anything to do with the screen or any of the other screens or samples that I've shown in the past. That is a projector issue because of the lens. The lens is a cheap plastic standard lens. It's got real no technology, and it's not handling that light output very well. So that's why I'm going into talking about lenses and how important they are for projectors and for home theater use in general. Because if it doesn't handle the light very well, you're going to have hot spotting issues, you're going to have light bleeding issues, you're going to have a lot of issues. But for what this is, for the image quality that I'm getting, if this is your thing and you're interested in trying black screens or wanting to try something along these lines, you're much better off trying on a $30 product rather than putting all your hopes and dreams and expectations on somebody like Kenneth Bird from Black Series Edition and spending $200, $300, $400, depending on how much money you're spending with that company, just to be disappointed. And at least with the $30 YANDOO screen, if you don't like this image quality, you don't like what it looks like in person, you can literally turn it over to the other side and your $30 isn't wasted. Whereas if you buy from Kenneth Bird and you want to try black screen, and you buy from Kenneth Bird, and you paint it up on your wall or paint it on your existing screen, you are literally stuck with it. You have no other option at that point. You are stuck with that, and then you have to try to reach him and get him to respond to you. And when he does respond to you, he's going to leave you voice messages talking about his demonstrations and talking about this, that, and the other. And if you don't like what he has to say and you still want your money back, you still want compensation for spending $200, $300, $400, you're going to get threatened. You're going to get sued. He's going to send doctored footage to PayPal or whatever form of, payment option, and then you're going to be stuck being $300 poorer than what you were before you bought the product. Whereas with something like the YANDOO, you pay $30, you set it up, you try the black side, you either like it and you've saved hundreds of dollars, or you don't like it and you can flip it over and use the other side, and you'll be happy with that, especially for a starter screen. It is really that simple. So I'll say again before I head off here, just imagine paying less. Imagine paying less and having a second option, like the silver side. Imagine paying less, and even if you're not happy with either side, you're only out $30 instead of $200, $300, $400. Imagine paying less and not having to deal with a Kenneth Byrd who's going to threaten you, threaten to sue you, you know, even talks of physical harm. He did make a video saying that he would, if he ever saw me or any of some other people in person, that he would literally shoot first. And don't worry, because he's a good shot. So if you zig and zag, he's going to get you. And that's literally came out of his mouth. Didn't come out of my mouth. It's not a made-up story. That's how unstable Kenneth Byrd is. And do I hate Kenneth Byrd? I really don't hate the guy. He's just stupid, and he's a manipulator. He's a liar, and he needs serious mental help. He needs counseling. He needs therapy. He needs medication. He needs to get his shit together. That man has spent a year living in a garage, and he's spent quite a while now living in an office building that I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to be staying in overnight, day after day after day. So he's literally living in a rented office space. And he only leaves to go to the store and get a bag of chips or buy some new shirts or whatever when he gets his check at the first of the month. And really all he's doing is fishing for somebody to be naive enough and be gullible enough to spend that $200, $300, $400. And because he knows that his tactics, this is why he gets called a scammer. He knows that his tactics will get him an opportunity to keep that money instead of that customer being able to be reimbursed for their hard-earned money that they spent and put that trust into him and his company, and they were let down. They were taken advantage of, and then they were treated like dog shit when they didn't like his product. That's literally the basis behind all of this. So, with that being said, I'm out of here, guys. It's been fun. I hope everybody's been doing well. I hope that people are getting their information from reputable, real sources. It doesn't take that much to send an email and contact us through audio advice or any other standard home theater company that has a reputable products, reputable reputation, install services. You know, those people are there to help. Get your information from legitimate sources, not from scammers who spent a year living in a garage and now living in an office space, just looking to take advantage of you and your hard-earned money. So if black is what you're interested in trying it, try the YANDOO screen. It's only $30. What do you have to lose? $30, I could take that hit. $200, $300, $400, not really my thing. Guys, take care. Next time, if there is a next time, probably not, but we'll catch you later.